here, and uh, we are both uh, here. Why don't you start us off with some fun fun stuff? Let's have
Okay.
let's have some fun.
All right. Let's fun around.
Yeah, yeah. Time for the fun 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 fun. Does it sound George Shooter Nolan podcast
Reporting for
terrible?
duty.
Reporting for duty. This is your life. You know. How
All
you
right.
doing? How you doing, George? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing.
Yeah. Well,
So I'd like to make a shout out real quick.
oh well, if there's time, I guess. Let's have it.
Crystal City, Maryland.
Oh my goodness. How are they doing today?
Not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a magical place full of crystals.
Oh yeah, no
It's
doubt.
like from one from what I understand, it's all the buildings are made of crystals. It's like
It,
some sort of Hayao Miyazaki film or something.
have you seen you're a big Adventure Time fan, right?
No, I've seen a couple episodes, but I wouldn't say I'm a big fan. I enjoyed what I've seen, but it's not something I follow.
Oh, well, have you seen the one with the crystal dimension?
I have not.
There's this guy uh there who's made out of crystal, and he's a thug, and he says, "I've got to take a donk."
How does that work?
Well, his friend didn't like that, and then he said that he wasn't ashamed, so it worked out okay.
Are they real fragile since you have crystals? Like, could they get shattered?
I don't know. Uh, you maybe. I think it was just. I mean, I got the impression that they were pretty sturdy people, and
Hmm.
that their environment was sturdy. I got sturdy. That was the impression I got. Just an impression of sturdiness.
Oh yeah, sturdy people like the sturdy people of Moultonboro, New Hampshire.
Oh my, they are sturdy. They're fine folk over there. Uh,
Yeah, sturdy stock.
oh, indeed. Well, what you been up to, George? Some fun st
Well,
things?
this right here is my fun. Uh, this
Yeah,
is this is basically an online party. So for all the listeners out there,
yeah,
this is the one party you are invited to.
yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? You know,
yeah,
crack open a sparkling cider and enjoy the party,
yeah. Let's get boogie with it. Down and dirty. Everybody's dancing. Why aren't you?
Oh yeah. Do you like it's like one of those parties you can double dip your chip into. Party of one.
No. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all right. If you were alone and if nobody's watching, at least as far as you can tell, if you've got one of those smart TVs or cell phone, then somebody might be watching you, and that's okay. You dip without shame. I
Yeah.
mean, why not?
Personally, even even if it's my own dip and no one else is gonna have it, I do
Yeah,
not double dip.
I do. In fact, my first dip is so deep. I do the knuckle deep dips.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't I don't consider the deep to be uh enough of a dip unless it's a knuckle deep dip.
The way I dip, I graze the surface of the dip with my chip.
You 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 delicate flower.
Yeah. And what was it? I actually don't eat dip that much. Not that often.
See, that's all I've had for the past 2 weeks is dip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's your dip of choice? Hummus or baba ganoush or
whatever
guacamole?
whatever I can rummage. So
Uh,
yes to all. I've been rummaging dip. There's a surprising wealth of dip and dip adjacent items that are available to be rummaged.
You ever what's your favorite dip if you had to choose?
Oh, uh well uh I don't know. I don't care. I'll take whatever. I like all the I like all the dips. I even like you, George.
Oh yeah. Uh
Uh,
yeah. Well,
you
if I
know,
was a dip, I'd be a guacamole.
yeah. Guac dip is fine. I like the sour cream and onion and the
Never had that dip.
oh geez, you got to, and then some ranch
Is that the
or
one with the onion soup? You make it
onion
with
soup.
onion soup mix?
You could put it in soup, I guess. Yeah.
No, like like how there's like onion soup mix, but everyone uses it for dip.
Nobody told me that. No, they've got dedicated dip of that variety,
Hmm.
and I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't turn my nose at some onion dip.
Yes, sour cream and onion, that's like my favorite potato chip flavor.
Oh,
Probably
it's
up there.
yeah, it's a fine flavor, and I think you would be yeah, I don't believe you'd be disappointed in getting. I think you'd be proud to eat that dip. So by all means, go go rummage up some
Mm.
dip.
It'd be real good right now, some pico de gallo.
Oh, the pickled the gallo, yeah, yeah,
Pico de gallo.
the favored Brazilian dish of
No, it's Mexican.
oh, that's right.
It's completely different.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they
I
have dip in Brazil.
oh well, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. I've never been to Brazil that I am saying. Uh, but oh, that does remind me of an unrelated related. It's related. I'm trying to bring up the words to mind because it's a beautiful sentiment, and it goes like "Que delicia, now veo a hora de comer tucano amassado na folha de bananeira."
Uh, English, please.
That means try the onion dip. It's pretty good. Get some good dip. Take it to your party of one. Uh, jam those fingers in and eat up, Mister.
All right. Well, you know what? I might take that advice.
I don't know why you wouldn't. You'd be a fool not to take that advice.
Yeah.
Uh,
You ever had a
yeah,
black bean dip?
I've had black beans. I imagine sometimes. Now, what's the special allure of the black bean dip?
Oh, high in fiber.
Oh my goodness, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't even know black bean dip exists, but I'm pretty sure that could be a thing.
So you just said a thing. Well, you really pulled the wool over my eyes.
Well, I just invented it, I guess,
Well, you just use black beans, I guess, as
I spoke into existence.
all right. You
know,
heard it here first, folks. Dip your beans and or dip your chip in black beans. Shooter says it's okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah, it can't hurt you. It
Yeah.
can't hurt it it can't hurt you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to
like
make that.
garnished with some razor blades.
No, don't do that. This is going to be like
That was a joke. That's actually a very dangerous
yeah,
thing to put into your food.
well, you should do the elementary school talking circuit for all those kids that are putting razors in their beans, uh,
Yeah.
which you shouldn't do. Only it's for trained professionals only. Um, it so I've got no good segue for this, but have you ever seen a film called Star Trek: The uh, no, it's not the Final Frontier.
Oh,
It's the
Nemesis?
no, no, not Nemesis. The last journey. The last. Let's see. Star Trek.
Final voyage?
The crap. It's called the Final Front. It's called the Undiscovered Country. No, it's called the Final Frontier. Star Trek: The Final Frontier.
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, well, it's pretty good. I liked it. Apparently, critics hated it. They gave it some Razzie awards. But seeing Kirk, Spock, and Dr. Bones sitting around a fire singing "Row, row, row your boat" while they drink whiskey and toast marshmallows is a very satisfying afternoon.
Is it one of those newer Star Trek movies, or
Oh, I mean,
the ones with the William? Is it one? Does it have William Shatner in it?
1989, William Shatner, uh, famed star, Star Trek is in it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of those classics.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like it. I think it's nice. It begs the age old question: what does God need with a starship?
Well,
You know.
what's the answer?
Well, there wasn't really a satisfying answer to that question. But I mean, it was posed to kind of demonstrate that if that's God, why does he need a starship? So uh, it's sort of I mean, in certain contexts, that would be kind of a bad faith question to ask a question that doesn't make sense to stump somebody. This one, it was just trying to demonstrate that, hey, perhaps God would not need a starship.
Yeah, I think God is fine with whatever is around, you know.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty cool like that. He likes whatever's easiest,
Well, I mean, he's created everything, you know.
including
Like
the starship.
everything that's happened is like due to like designs he's put in place, you know. So he has everything he wants, right?
So you would say that he probably should have a producer's credit for Star Trek, uh, the title, that Star Trek movie I mentioned.
If the director didn't thank God at the Razzies, you
Yeah,
know, that was the least he could have done is thank God at the Razzies, you know.
the Final Frontier, Star Trek: The Final Frontier. God has a producer credit, and why would he of all people need a starship? You know?
Well, I mean, he already has like all the starships, you know.
So yeah, God has lots of starships.
He has all the starships.
Yeah, yeah, he's got plenty of starships. He doesn't need your starship. Uh, he probably collects them. Uh, yeah, do do you like uh is there objectivity or is everything subjective?
I think you have to. I guess you could say everything's subjective, but you must live your life with some objectivity
Okay.
for it to make sense. You know.
Well, yeah, you have to assume that there's a world beyond your understanding, but really the only thing you know at any particular moment is that you're perceiving something at any given moment, you know. You're
Yeah.
just a receptacle for reflection, sensation, and black bean dip.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't wait to fire up my blender.
You gonna blend some dip.
No, I never make my own dip. It's all store bought right here.
What are you gonna do with the blender?
Actually, I never use my blender.
What do you want to fire it up?
Well, just that's I'm pretty sure that's how you make black bean dip. You actually use a food processor.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that explains it. It's almost like fate. Would you say that fate exists, George? Does it exist? Is there such a thing as
Fate.
fate?
You would have to ask some sort of a professor. I'm just an illiterate guy from Malibu, California.
Yeah,
I'm the illiterate podcaster from Malibu.
the everyman.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm the illiterate billionaire from Malibu, California.
oh, geez, that'd be the life.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like oh, what's that line? Bobby Hill said it on King of the Hill when Hank said, to catch a fish, you have to think like a fish. And Bobby responded with, and I think this is from one of the bad seasons. I'm not sure how I know this, but I'm wet and I don't know it.
That's
You know?
like almost a Zen koan.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. It's very zen. Um, I'm wet and I don't know it.
Yeah. I guess Bobby Hill is like one of the more philosophical characters. He was uh he was the reincarnation of this llama from like Cambodia or something
Yeah, I
in one
remember that.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that one.
Oh yeah. How would you react if your son turned out to be a reincarnated llama?
Uh, I'd be fine with it. There are worse things.
Would you let him pursue the llama lifestyle?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
you oh yeah?
Yeah,
You would
yeah. I
send them
mean,
straight off to the monastery?
no, but I'd probably if they wanted to encourage him down that path and they provided for some, I don't know if it's worth anything to. I mean, like they've got to have some sort of a local representation. That he, I'd vet it, but I I'm fairly copacetic with Buddhism. I mean, I know it's sort of got different veins of it. Whether it's going to be the Buddha's philosophical teachings or whether it's going to be one of the areas where it's woven into uh, ancient mysticism and spirits and stuff. But I guess a reincarnation would be inherently that, wouldn't it?
Inherently what?
Mystic.
Yeah, supernatural, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I, do they do a lot of? Well, no. Reincarnation is what part of Buddhism does reincarnation? Where does that mostly come from? Where in the
I
world
think it
does
comes from Hinduism actually,
Hinduism?
because yeah, the Buddha, the original Buddha, he was from India. I think he was Hindu, and the Hindus, one of their main beliefs is that everyone is repeatedly reincarnated until they reach nirvana or samsara or something like that. And I think it came from Hinduism.
Well, yeah,
And
that could be it. I know there was some like in Japan it mixes with Shintoism, and in the India area it would probably mix a lot with Hinduism. Siddhartha, I think, was prince in Nepal, uh, which you know may have been part of. I'm not sure how the kingdoms were structured.
well, I mean, India there wasn't a country back then, you know. It
Yeah,
was like split up into a whole bunch of different kingdoms and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I know you sort of reincarnate until you get it right,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
something like
and
that.
everyone who's ever reincarnated, uh, they were all like presidents and like great men of history. I've known 7 people who were the reincarnation of Napoleon.
You've known 7 of them?
No, I'm just making a joke.
Hey,
Apparently, a lot of people like to say that they were reincarnated from major historical figures,
oh, well, whatever.
sort of a self-aggrandizement.
Oh, yeah, like the turquoise girls, or what is that?
The Indigo
Thank you.
children.
Thing indigo children. Have you ever met an indigo child?
No, I've not, but you seem to have known a couple, have you?
Yeah, well, I've known, well, I suppose the only people that are truly indigo children are the people who have either come to that realization themselves or had somebody inform them of that reality. Those special spirits, I think, generally female spirits who are imbued with a special world-changing uh, quality.
Yes. And can you describe one of these people you've met? Like yeah, don't get too specific with names or anything.
Oh, well, certainly not. I'm not going to, you know, I don't want to do anything that would cause anybody any trouble. But there was there some characteristics I'd say prone to uh, certain hedonistic interests. Uh, very interested in Burning Man. Interested in certain substances, and free with certain acts, um, ac-
Activities.
activities. Um, yeah, yeah.
So you're describing like a bohemian layabout or
Well,
degenerate.
well,
Are they usually employed?
from time to time.
Yeah. Would you consider if you were going to describe an indigo person, would
Sure.
you say that they were industrious?
Sure, from time to time, sure. Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty wide brush, and I don't know if I perfectly know what is meant apart from something that seems to me to be uh, a little fanciful, a little. Oh, are you big into astrology? You seem like the type, George. The Mercury rising over the thing, and that. Are you big into that?
I think there is like some basis in reality. Because
You,
whenever I read my horoscope, I
yeah.
was like, whoa, this is so me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, it seems sometimes it's uncanny.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're a regular indigo child?
No, I'm not an indigo
Oh,
person.
oh, yeah. Well, see, how would you know? You must be. You must be. You simply must be. You are an indigo child.
What qualities do I share with the indigo people?
Astrology, uh, bake, bean dip. Um, and just your many wonderful eccentricities.
Uh, so, what, what kind what context do you know these indigo people in? Are they like friends of friends or something?
Oh, I've known
Did
a
you meet
lot
them?
of what?
Did you meet them like at school or work or anything like that?
Well, neither of those things. But one meets many people over the course of their life, and those were among the people that and lovely and nice and kind, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've actually not met many people in my life.
Oh yeah, well, that's why we started this to get you out of the house.
Yeah. So,
Hey, you keep stealing my toilet paper though.
well, it's it's it comes in handy.
Yeah, well, I can't argue with that. That's
Well, what you got to do is get like a bidet, man.
yeah, well, I mean, everybody wants to get a bidet, but who does? Who does? Everybody wants to. Nobody does, you know?
Europeans have one. Europeans have them.
Well, we can't all be Europeans.
Uh, I mean, think about like a bidet. It's like you don't you wash your dishes, you don't wipe your dishes, right? That's like the main selling point of the bidet. It makes so much sense.
Well, wiping dishes is part of good dish hygiene.
Yeah, but you can't just wipe your dishes, you know?
Well, sometimes you just gotta rush out the door, and all you can do is give it a little wipe before
Uh,
uh, before you hit the road. You know?
oh, you see like a guy who just shakes the food off his plate
Well,
and
yeah.
just tosses in the drawer.
Well, no, you get enough of that. You got yourself the mixings for a stew.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You make any good stews lately?
Yeah. I did. As a matter of fact, I made a stew just 2 days ago, or so around
Yeah,
around then, maybe yesterday. I don't know. I made a
beef,
stew. Yeah. It was beef.
beef. That's a good meat.
Oh well, I I'll there were beets in it though. You don't have to worry
Oh,
about.
beet. That's a good vegetable.
I do like beets. You can take the top of a beet and put it in some dirt, and a nice little purple plant will grow out of that, and you can trim the leaves and occasionally eat the leaves.
Yeah, people eat the beet leaves all the time, like in salad.
Yeah, I had one today. I cut beet leaf off of a beet top plant that is growing on the windowsill, and I consumed that with a meal.
Uh, Speaking of beets, I went to the thrift store the other day
Oh
and I
well,
got a t-shirt.
we're gonna have to go on a brief break, and when we get back, we get to hear all about George's T-shirt.
All right, guys. So yeah, I got that t-shirt at the thrift store the other day.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, the lovely T-shirt. Tell us
yeah, it
about your
was.
T-shirt.
It's a Schrute Family Farms T-shirt, and
Oh
he got a picture of a beet on it.
well, from what I remember of that show, he does enjoy the occasional beat.
Yeah, yeah, he's my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed that show for a time. It got to a point where I couldn't enjoy it any longer.
Mm. Well, it
Um,
got bad. The show got bad.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
I think it should have ended with the wedding.
The oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was when Steve Carell moved on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
However, I
Yeah.
actually did like Robert California, the James
Oh,
Spader guy.
James Spader. No, he's good in about everything that he's in. I like seeing him and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
he just specializes in playing like a very slick but amoral kind of guy.
yeah, yeah. Alan Shore, I think, is his best work from Boston Legal. Have you seen Stargate, the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, he plays a completely different kind of character in there. It's almost unrecognizable from the role he went into.
Yeah. He plays like a kind of like a bookish nerd sort of guy.
Yeah, yeah. He did fine on that, but it didn't have the same quality that he would come to master thereafter. What's that movie where he plays the he's like a boss of and he tortures his secretary. It's like a
Oh,
sex thing.
secretary.
Is it just called Secretary?
Yes. Although it's just so the listeners don't get the wrong idea. It's not like he kidnaps her and like forces her to be tortured. It's like something she's into.
Yeah, I think it's like a 50 Shades of Grey thing where it's like horrible things, but everybody consents. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, I've never seen it. Maybe there's some things that people would take issue with. I've never seen it.
Hmm.
So I don't know if he. I mean, the character that he would often play, the Alan Shore type character, could be used as somebody that would pressure somebody into something like that. Have you seen Secretary?
I have.
So is there any element where like does he manipulate her into it, or is she just like a freak
I think
like he
she's
is?
the one who initiates it.
She initiates him like what doesn't he have her stand someplace for like a day and pee herself?
I don't really remember the movie too well, but I think yeah, I think it was the secretary herself who wanted that relationship to be of that nature.
All right. Well, you know, it's nice to see more uh, kink positive media.
It, I'm gonna go off on a bit of a tangent.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, you know who's like my least favorite kind of people?
Who's that?
Well, I'm not gonna say least favorite kind of person. You know who's the most annoying and distasteful person I can think of right now?
These are some ugly words. What do you got?
Oh man. I'd say the kind of like annoying person and distasteful person is the kind of person who is open about being into that bondage stuff. Like you're not like in a personal relationship with them, right? Of that nature, but somehow no, somehow they make it known that they're into that stuff.
Like,
I think that's I think people should keep that to themselves.
right? I
And it's
mean,
always go ahead.
no. I mean, have you ever been cornered while somebody talks at you about their uh fetishes and stuff?
I haven't been no, I haven't been physically trapped in the corner, but I've had like I've heard yeah people have mentioned to me that like they're into like some non-standard stuff before, and I was like I don't need to know this stuff.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's I have been in a couple different situations where like unrelated people, where I was cornered and talked at for a long amount of time about um, shape-shifting reptile aliens, and it was pretty exhausting. And if anybody
Oh,
approaches anybody with any topic really, and just sort of backs them into a corner and talks at them and doesn't let them leave, uh, you know, not just that topic, but other topics, you find that'd be especially unpleasant. I think the kink stuff, if you're not into it, it seems a little weird, and I uh, you know can't say that I am well versed, but if somebody were to just sort of uh, slip out a little toot of knowledge and just say that they were into it, I mean that wouldn't be like a loathsome thing to do.
I'm not saying it's loathsome. I'm saying it's distasteful.
I mean, if they went into the to the point of like graphically describing it,
Oh,
or
they do. That's the kind of thing they'll do. It's like part of it is to shock like normal people.
yeah,
And that's
so
like how they get off on, they're getting off on it,
so
The
you're
look off.
talking about random people approach, or I don't know, not but people approaching you and trying to say shocking things to bother you. That's what you're commenting on.
I'm pretty sure that's a kink.
Harassing people, King?
Yeah, there's like those people like get excited by all sorts of stuff. I'm pretty sure there's gotta be someone out there who who goes around and tells people all sorts of perverted stuff, and he's getting off on the fact that he's talking to someone about it.
Yeah, but I mean, people like that probably like really want attention, and well, no, really, like if you say something deliberately to shock somebody, uh you yeah, I mean, I suppose there's variation, but you might be somebody that's doing that to get attention, and that person probably is not having a bunch of leather clad, chained up uh sex,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh, oh, good. Well, that's they don't. That's their thing is more. I guess it's more specific. They have a specific thing they're into, which is shocking people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw oh, it was some hoarder show. I don't usually do the reality TV, but there was this hoarder show where this woman wouldn't stop alluding to her coprophilia, and she hoarded that material, um, and it seemed like she was doing it for the camera.
Oh, yeah, in her like everyday life and public, is she like a public coprophilia coprophile?
I hope not. I hope not a lot of things. I wish I'd never heard of that, seen that. I wish that somebody wouldn't do that and wouldn't try to get on television for doing that. And the whole no. I wish it would never have happened. I'm not interested. That I hope not.
It would be funny if she was like your neighbor, and she always like every time she saw you, she always try to talk to you about coprophilia.
Yeah, that wouldn't
She'll
be
ask about
funny.
like how's your movements this morning?
Well, well, I mean, if she says that's like she's certainly not asking for a friend.
Oh
I
yeah.
I oh no, phasia. It was phasia, not philia. I don't know if
Oh, eating it.
don't d- don't don't you dare. don't you dare. It was you know, so uh hmm, I don't want to think about that. That's terrible. Did you so here's a did you see the
Oh,
did you see the new game sec
yeah.
with let's see, Pat Kilbane. Isn't his name Pat Kilbane?
Oh, was he in like Mad TV?
He was, yeah, he was on Matt TV. I believe his name is Pat Kilbane, and he was originally in the Sackverse in an episode with Joe and Dave, could be 5 or so years ago now, and he was part of a computer program that was providing them comedy advice.
Is was Pat Kilbane that guy who's the Dungeons and Dragons guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know it was him. I just thought it was like, I guess because his he grew out like a goatee and like his hair is all gray.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that guy was on GameSec before.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know he was a comedian. He was, I mean, he was a very what was it, soft, like sober kind of individual.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
seem like, yeah, he did not seem like the kind of guy who's ever made anyone laugh. You
Well,
know?
he was just sort of speaking on the area of his interest, and in the first showing, he was there specifically to be a goofy character.
Yeah,
I think Joe works in the media.
yeah,
He does editing for a living. So these could all be people that he knows.
yeah. One of his Hollywood friends.
I don't know Hollywood, but oh yeah, well, I mean the
Pat
industry.
Pat Kilbane's pretty big time. He was in Seinfeld.
What did he do in Seinfeld?
He played the Bizarro Kramer Feldman.
Was that him?
Yep.
What? Oh no, no, no. I'm thinking about the show about nothing. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
no,
it?
the episode where Elaine makes friends with another group of people.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. No, I was thinking of when they were making a sitcom of their lives, and the Kramer that was in that.
Oh no, that's Larry Hankin.
Yeah, the different guy.
Yeah, he was in Breaking Bad.
What did he do in Breaking Bad?
He was the guy who owned the junkyard who knew a lot about the law.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, they went back to him a couple times. I remember that.
Yeah, he was I guess he was quite a hit on the show.
Well,
Yeah.
of course he would be.
Yeah, he kind of
Uh,
reminds me of that one actor, well, you know the guy from Ghost, Vincent Schiavelli.
Ghost. I
He's
haven't
like
seen.
he's like that tall guy with like curly hair with a strange face.
I can't. I
He
can't
played
bring
the
much up
angry
in.
ghost in the
Oh
movie Ghost.
yeah, 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 yeah. He always plays sort of a lanky, really tired guy. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Larry Hankin kind of reminds me of him.
yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
I'm pretty sure they go to the same auditions. I'm pretty sure they've gone to the same audition a few times.
Well, they both have distinctive looks, and kind of make a face, play uh I don't know, off kilter parts.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're the Hollywood's go-to offbeat guys.
oh, there are a few of those.
Yeah.
There's a few of those, and a handful of them showed up in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep. Was it Danny DeVito?
Danny
Brad
DeVito.
Dourif? Brad
Dan,
Dourif, I'm pretty sure he's like the offbeat guy.
which one's Brad Dourif?
I think he played the young guy.
The young. Oh yes, the
He stuttered.
yeah, yeah. I don't know anything about that, but Uh, yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Brad Dourif, he's a real offbeat actor. He was in
What
that
else
movie Bad Lieutenant.
was he in? Oh no, I'm not sure that I've seen Red Lieutenant.
Oh, Port of Call, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah,
He played the bookie.
I don't remember him in that.
Oh, he played the bookie.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um, well, I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, you're saying something about the game sack.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I just think it was the best one that Joe's done in a little while.
Yeah.
I watched the shows and I enjoy what he does, but I think it's better that he has somebody to bounce things off of and work with. I'd like to see Dave come back full time, but if Joe would just rotate through some of the people, like even uh, what Yoshi, I believe, the fellow who does his graphics, the game developer. Um, he's who was that chap that was from Star Trek? I forget which he was. No, he was in Voyager. He was one of the background characters in Voyager, and he was part of their Star Trek episode.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that episode.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. They did an episode on Star Trek games, and they had an actor from Star Trek who is a filmmaker. Um, his name's on the tip of my tongue, but it'd be good if Joe had him on. You know, some of the people that they've had before, or even just sort of have in other people that are kind of in the same ecosystem, like the fellows from My Life in Gaming, the fellow from Classic
Pat,
Game Room.
how about Pat the NES punk?
I haven't watched a lot of his stuff, but he'd be pretty good. Even Metal Jesus, I think
Well,
it'd be fun to have him on for one. Um,
it
I got,
seems like something they should have done more of. Like I'm surprised they haven't done more of those episodes, those crossovers.
yeah, yeah. I I got the impression that so following that let's make a YouTube channel episode where Dave was trying out all those different things to make a channel, and they made fun of different YouTubers,
Oh yes.
and then they did that one with that was it wasn't Metal Jesus, it was, I think they called him Disco Jesus or something,
Oh
and
yeah.
he was talking to Bob Cornhole, and I've noticed that fans of GameSack would be especially unkind to Metal Jesus in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that Metal Jesus would comment sometimes on Joe's stuff or GameSack, and the GameSack fans would just insult Metal Jesus.
He's a very uh distinct sort of guy. He's someone who's easy. It's easy to make fun of
Well, no, I mean everybody is, but like this is
because
like,
he's got his things like hidden. He always says hidden gems.
well, no, I mean
You know.
he's got a lane where it's more casual than GameSack, but yeah, and it's sort of more social than informative. But he's got his lane, and I think the videos are pleasant. A lot of them good. I like to see him interacting with his friends and doing more of a uh, I don't know, a lighter overview than somebody who does a deep dive on these. But it's like if GameSack's making fun of Metal Jesus, it's like we're making fun of all the YouTubers, and the people who are watching this think like we as a community are just going to go after Metal Jesus arbitrarily. It seemed like they weren't getting that it is all in fun, and they just decided to be kind of nasty.
Oh yeah. I'm guessing Metal Jesus is the most prominent one.
no, he wouldn't be. It'd be the nerd. It would be the angry video
Oh
game
yeah,
nerd. That would be the
yeah,
most prominent one.
yeah. But what was it? You like a classic game room?
Yeah, yeah. I think that guy always did a pretty good job. I've listened to, I think he's still doing it. A podcast that he started fairly recently. I've listened to some episodes from that, and that was entertaining.
Is that guy like a millionaire? Like you seen his like his room? It's he's got like thousands of arcade machines.
Yeah, but it's like stuff packed into a garage or basement room. It's pretty tight. I doubt, I don't know, but I doubt he's a millionaire. It seems more like he's a collector that doesn't have a whole lot of space, and it's just sort of tightly packed in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's got like all sorts of stuff in there.
well, yeah, but if it's like your main thing for your whole life to just buy this stuff, you can get a lot of stuff.
He's probably spent like 100 grand at least on that stuff.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about what he's done, but I would guess that he's just like made a point of shopping around and looking for that type of stuff his whole life, and he's just got a bunch of stuff now. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's a very sad story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's it's an interesting hobby, getting into the history of a subject and all the little things it does. It's a fine hobby.
I don't know. Collecting is sort of a strange thing if you think about it.
But
Strange activity.
I mean, what's wrong with collecting items of a certain kind?
It's just I guess it's more about quantity than quality. It's not like you when you collect something, right? You're not actually using it. You're having it as a display, you know. Let's
Like,
say you collect like swords, you know.
well,
You're
yeah,
just
I mean, but you can't go around using swords. You can, like, I've got a bunch of, well, I do have a fair amount of video games, but I've got a lot of movies as well. I've got DVDs and Blu-rays and VHSs. I don't like to stream anything, and I just like to have the physical media. I enjoy owning a bunch of books as opposed to looking at it on a little tablet. And
Mhm.
I'll revisit things over and over again.
Well, there's two things. There's a book collection and a library, you know. I have a bunch of DVDs and stuff and video games and books, but I call it's not a collection. It's my library. That's a bit different.
All right, all
Like
right.
let's say you collect socks or something. Now that's a pretty strange, or action figures.
Not if you like to
It's
wear different socks.
well, that's a wardrobe.
Well, all right. I mean, your point would stand better with it. Like the swords one made more sense.
How about
Um,
action figures? That's a useless item. People collect those.
I suppose.
It's like I like this thing so much. I just want to have them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can't do much with them. One can have something for display, but I suppose I wouldn't have a whole lot of personal interest in like just a horde of action figures. Yeah, I wouldn't be bothered by having uh, things that have some display quality or interest. Like I've got this. It's the Transformers robots in disguise.
Yes.
I've got one that is a Tanuki. I ordered it from Japan years ago. It's a Tanuki, and it has a clock in it. And
What's a tanuki? Is that like a
it's
raccoon?
it's a Japanese animal that looks like a raccoon and is known for its prominent testicles.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but and the transformer, it has these big metal nuts, right on display for everyone to see.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure you put that on your mantelpiece.
well, I've got it on a shelf, and I I get a kick out of it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, that does sound like fun.
See, back again to where we started. Fun throughout. Hasn't this just been just desperately, violently fun?
Yeah,
I
you
almost
seem
cannot
like the kind of
accommodate
guy who collects whips
whips.
and other leather paraphernalia.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? I actually do have a leather whip.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I got it at a swap meet when I was a kid, and I remember a friend of mine, uh, like, we were teenagers, and he wanted me to hit him with the whip, and you bet I did, and he didn't care for that at all. He regretted that position.
did it break the skin?
Uh, no, no, I think it marked him up pretty good, but I don't believe it broke the skin. I just did it the once. It wasn't a very sharp whip, but leather straps. Um, I have a leather jacket. I have leather boots. Uh, I don't know. I've got a leather wallet. I don't really. I just sort of come into things. I don't get a lot of new things. Uh, I animal skinning makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, you should get yourself a leather fedora, like a leather hat, a fedora maybe.
All right, put a feather in it or something like
Yeah,
Pinocchio.
but you don't want to know how they make leather, how they tan. It's a very disgusting process.
I really don't care for how animals are treated generally. It's not really necessary. We could produce the same quality of food without torturing it first, but
It'll be more expensive though.
it would.
Be way
But
more expensive.
yeah. But I mean, the costs associated with like the food now is so cheap. The unlivable wages that people who work in a lot of food jobs, like where you can get the cheapest food at fast food places, the unlivable wages, uh, that that is all kind of pressured into place. The overhead does not justify the low quality food or slave wages for the employees. It's mostly there maximizing profits. So it would be more expensive to use better food, but we're we're uh, we're mostly paying for the continued enrichment of people who already have quite a bit of money, and less for the I don't know, the animals and the people that are having to deal with the food.
Yeah, well, it's the if you were like a fast food owner, you'd do the same thing, or you'd be an irresponsible businessman.
I mean, that's kind of true. If you don't have a thing, and if you're not focused in on profits, you're going to lose and be forced into some other line of work.
Yeah.
That's that's not happy. Well, get back to fun. We're running out of time, and we had gone the full loop around. You were talking about how fun it is. Oh, it looks like we have to rush out within 10 minutes. So get us back to fun before we have to wrap up and go do something else.
Oh yeah. All right. Uh, maybe a little shout out.
Oh, shout outs are fun. That's real fun.
Denver, Colorado.
Oh, well, that's speaking of GameSec, another
Yeah.
another fun thing.
Yeah, the game sack hometown.
I believe so. It's
Maybe
either
a
Denver or around there.
maybe a Littleton.
I don't know if it's Littleton. I don't know if I think it's one of the main. I don't know. They mentioned it on one of the episodes, I believe, but
Yeah,
I think it's the Denver area.
the Denver metropolitan area.
Well, that's a fine thing to shout out. I hear that that's a pretty nice city to live in.
Yeah, it's better than Boulder, I bet.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard good things about Boulder. I mean that seems like one of the areas, Boulder, where like in 20 years, people who lived there for a while will be saying this used to be such a nice place before all the people moved here.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of places like that. Like I'm pretty sure Jackson Hole is like that.
I don't know.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I got a t-shirt from Jackson Hole.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right. You ever been to Denver?
it seems that perhaps I have.
Yeah. What did you think about Denver when you were
I
there?
don't uh I don't know. I don't have uh anything that I can safely recall about my Denver experiences.
Oh yeah. I remember were you the guy who was a big fan of the band Denver Gentlemen?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the Denver Gentlemen.
Oh yeah. Are they still around or are they were doing are they under like a different name like half horsepower or something?
I think they've changed uh since Horsepower. There are very few bands that I keep up with now.
Yeah.
I don't do the social media and that. Um, so I just sort of find out about things that I like when I find out about them. So I don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah, what kind like it's like a folk music sort of thing, right?
It's
The Denver Gentlemen.
yeah, it's sort of a folk alternative thing.
Kind of
It's
like the
you
how
know
far away are they from Violent Femmes?
oh goodness.
Could
I
could,
I
could you imagine the Denver Gentlemen opening for the Violent Femmes?
Yes. Yes, I think that would be a fine show. They kind of remind me of someplace between maybe Bright Eyes and Violent Femmes, with a small bit of Tom Waits in there, but that's still not right.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I enjoy their music. I can't think of the album. It's one of my favorite albums, and it's a Denver Gentleman album. They're probably a little bit more like the what are they called? Flying Milk Hotel.
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Thank you. Neutral Milk Hotel. Uh, they're they remind me a little bit of Neutral Milk Hotel or Violent Femmes or Bright Eyes. May- I don't know. I think they could open for any of those groups, including Tom Waits, and it'd be a really good show.
Oh yeah.
I'd go to it. I mean, I never go to shows anymore, but I'd
Yeah, I'm
consider going to it.
yeah, I can't remember the last show I've been to. It's I like I'd rather go to a restaurant these days than like a concert.
It's too loud. It makes me. I
Yeah.
think if I went to another concert at like a bar or something, I'd
Mm.
bring earplugs. Uh,
The only concert I'd consider going is classical music because that's the most expensive music to produce.
is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like You have like a whole bunch of like an orchestra is like 100 people. They spent their whole lives going to music academies. These instruments they're using, they're thousands of dollars a piece,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
It's like just like on like the labor needed to make that music, just in manpower. That's a very expensive music,
yeah. I mean, you aren't wrong. That would be quite a pricey show. I imagine
Yeah.
that the individual performers probably don't make quite as much as like a band will make. I mean, of course they would. Of course they wouldn't, but it would still be expensive to put together.
Oh, it'd be very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a lot more what was it? More production than having a guy play do a DJ set.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. They would need much less for that.
And
With
and and if the tickets for like a classical music concert would be much cheaper. Well, it would be probably this. Let's say it's the same as like a rock concert. So you're getting much more value for your money.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you go to a thing because you like it and because you can afford it.
Well, I'm just doing for I just trying to save a buck,
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get I'm trying to squeeze as much value out of every dollar, out of
Well,
every entertainment dollar out there.
oh, well, sure. Well, speaking of squeezing value, we are going to get rushed away soon. Have you got any? Because those were some pretty good shout outs. You got any final shout out before we have to rush out the door in a minute?
Monrovia, California.
Oh, good. Well, on that note, on the note of Monrovia, uh, thank you, George. This was a genuine delight.
Oh yeah. Well, hope you guys, you listeners, enjoyed the party.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fun abounds.